Hi, everybody. I am Greg, Bioinformatter on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Moxfield, Blue Sky, and Bioinformatter_actual on Threads and Instagram. I'm making my way through my first shipment of Magic the Gathering, Wilds of Eldraine. Um, I already opened one collector box, the slow way. I was reading a lot of the rules and stuff. This one I'm gonna try and just do as a speed break. So I'm not really gonna comment on the commons; they're gonna fly right by. And also I'll probably fly by the uncommons as well, and just kind of focus on the rears and the mythics. And see if I can get a shorter video for you all. I don't have time to go back and edit things down. It's not the kind of thing that's easy to do for this sort of content. So, um, yeah. So let's see what happens. So this is a brand new collector box. So let us break the seal. Remove the shrink wrap. So, a nice full-sized collector box with 12 packs. And, yes, my kind of got fixed focus going on here. I'm hoping I can show. Okay. What order do I need to go in here? Okay. Right about there. Jane's Recruiter, Water Wings. Right. Land. And those lands are very pretty, those full art lands. Utopia Sprawl, Ground Seal and Foil. Spiteful Hex Mage. So that's one I haven't looked up before. So enters battlefield with its curse roll token. Tegwill, Duke of Splendor. That's a pretty, that's a mythic. Restless Vine Stalk. So this is a borderless version of the land cycle where you're paying for a creature. Sanguine Bond. That is still a pricey card, isn't it? We'll see if this takes it down a notch. And Werefox Bodyguard. Let's see here. Banged my camera setup a little bit here. Leave it there. Werefox Bodyguard. So flash. And when it enters the battlefield, exile up to one other target non-fox creature until Werefox Bodyguard leaves the battlefield. One in a white, sacrifice it, and you gain 2 life. Don't know about the value of that. This is a very pretty beast token, and in foil, it's more striking. It's pretty cool. Yes, so because of my fixed focus until the stacks get bigger, those cards down there are a little blurry, so that I may bring you the card close-ups without the focus shifting around. Okay, try and... She's pretty. Shucks, Reaper. Okay, and a planes. Full art planes. Rapid raid bombardment. Okay. Utopia Sprawl. Devouring Sugar Maw. Asinine Antics. So you may cast Asinine Antics as though it had flash. If you pay 2 more to cast it, for each creature your opponents control, create a cursed roll token attached to that creature. I forget exactly what a cursed roll token does, but I'm sure it isn't positive. Talion, the Kindly Lord. Lane Line of Anticipation. So, if it's in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. You may cast spells as though they had flash. And a Thunderous Debut in Extended Art Foil. It's got Bargain, and look at the top 20 cards of your library, and reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them, and if the spell is bargained, put the revealed cards onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put the revealed cards into your hand and then shuffle. Bird, food. What was the other side of the beast before? Food. Okay. Third pack. Let the commons fly by. Pause a little more on the uncommons. Stroke of Midnight. Loyal Treatment. Island, full art. Foil, Season of Growth. Compulsion. Foil. Expel the Interlopers in foil. So choose a number between 0 and 10. Destroy all creatures with power greater than or equal to the chosen number. Yeah, so you can, for people that are low to the ground, that's an asymmetric board wipe. For big creature casters like me, it's doom. Farsight Ritual. Bargain, look at the top 4 cards of your library. If the spell is bargained, look at the top 8 cards of your library instead. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest at the bottom of your library in random order. And that is just a regular card in the set. There's one of the land cycle. Pay to make a creature that may or may not be useful. To turn the land into a creature till end of turn. Then usually there's some bonus on attacking. Sneak attack! So this one's fun looking. It's red, and, well, once this is on the ground as an enchant, on the battlefield as an enchantment, you can pay red, and you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste. Sacrifice the creature at the beginning of the next end step. So, yes, I can see some shenanigans happen with that. Oversold Cemetery with yet another art in the foil. So this is one of the Enchanted Tales. So don't know what that's worth. And a rat and a food token. Okay. The Scream Puff Marshmallow Man. Rowan's Grim Search. Frostbridge. Collector's Vaults. Guidewick's First Duel. Glass Casket. Full art foil swap. Impact Tremors. Impact Tremors in foil. Ashiok Wicked Manipulator. So I haven't looked this card up yet. First time seeing it. I am not going to read all of that. At this hour of the night, my eyes cannot compensate. Timber, and yet another word that I keep on wondering how it's really pronounced. So is it Paladin or Paladin? Whatever. Timber, Paladin, Paladin. As long as it is enchanted by exactly one aura, it has base power and toughness 3/3. As long as Timber Paladin is enchanted by exactly two auras, it has base power and toughness 5/5 and vigilance. And as long as it's enchanted by 3 or more auras, it has power and toughness 10/10, vigilance, and trample. So, scaling Voltron. Cruel Somnophage. Hardened Scales. And another new art, another new printing. I mean, it's definitely a card I use. I don't know. I think it's been printed enough now that it's probably not as valuable. Oppression. So oppression in yeah, it looks like it is foil. Yeah, it is foil. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player discards a card. Ouch. An elemental and a food token. Yeah, so this is a card that I was not fully aware of, so I don't know. I mean, it sounds like someone that doesn't mind getting rid of cards quickly. Okay. Commons. Yep. It's an uncommon. Monstrous Rage. Princess takes flight. A full art foil mountain. Grasp of Fate. Curiosity. Foil. Song of Totems. So this is a new one to me. So it's an X spell. Create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block, and creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Rotisserie Elemental. Rowan, Sign of War. Borderless. Primal Vigor. So that's a pretty new printing of that. And yeah, so if one or more tokens would be created, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. And if one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature, twice that many would be put on that creature instead. And so I haven't played this as much. I mean, I have one doubling season that kind of stays at home in my Lathril deck, but could be shuffled out if I have to. But Primal Vigor, because it affects everyone, I have this mental block against using it, and I should find there's going to be situations where it works. But it's, you know, there's danger depending on what the rest of the people in the pod are doing. So, Restless Vine Stalk. So it's another one of these lands that you can turn into a creature. A rat, a food. Yeah, I'll have to look up what this Primal Vigor is going for, because I don't even know what the original one is going for. I do have at least one copy of the Primal Vigor. In my collection. Yeah, it just hasn't found a home, so I haven't looked up the price. Earth Elemental. Nope, we've moved into the uncommon territory. Taken by Nightmares. Chancellor of Tales. Okay, a pretty forest. Curiosity. So Curiosity is one of the ones. Well, I mean, they're uncommons and rares and mythics, and yes, obviously you see the uncommons more, but I've seen more than my share of Curiosities already. Dark Tutelage and foil. Lord Skitter, Sewer King. I've seen several Skitter cards. I don't think I've pulled this one yet. Whenever another rat enters the battlefield under your control, exile up to one target card from an opponent's graveyard. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 rat creature token with this creature can't block. A Tale for the Ages. So it's just kind of a slightly better than it's an anthem for enchanted creatures, but it gives +2, so it's better than the normal +1s you see on a lot of anthems. Mosswood Dread Knight. So I haven't seen this one. Dread Whispers on the adventure side. You draw a card, you lose a life. But if you get the creature in from exile, trample. It's a trample 3/2 human knight, and when it dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. So that'll let you kind of cycle it back, I guess, because if you yeah, so if you cast the adventure, it'll go into exile. Then you can cast it from exile to get it back out onto the battlefield. So you can kind of cycle it through until it gets exiled by someone else. Cool. Nature's Will. And I'm wondering. So, whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, tap all lands that player controls and untap all lands you control. So, I have an older copy of this. I keep on wanting to put it in a deck, and it never quite makes the cut. I wonder if this looks like it might be one of the anime-ish versions of it. That may make a difference in the value of this. Although it isn't the pretty femme version of anime, so I don't know if people like it as much. Lord Skitter Sewer King, this time in the extended art foil, and treasure and a food. Yes, it's usually the pretty anime cards that seem to go at a premium for some reason. Okay. Common. 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 Nine Crescendo. Okay, into the uncommons. Belligerent of the Ball. There's the mountain. Garrick's Uprising. Dragon Mantle. Pollen Shield Hair. So this is the normal version of it. Hair Raising. Target creature you control gains vigilance and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So yes, if you've got a token deck, you could make a big one while still going wide. And then if you cast it as the creature, from exile you get creature tokens you control get +1/+1. So that's actually a pretty cool card. The Iron Crag, which people have been all kinds of confused about. But it depends on quote marks. So it's a mana rock. You can tap it and add colorless. But whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have the Iron Crag become a legendary equipment artifact named Everflame Hero's Legacy. If you do, it gains Equip 3, and equipped creature gets +3/+3, and loses all other abilities. So your creature doesn't lose its abilities. It's the when this becomes the equipment that way, once it's equipped, it loses its other. This card loses its other abilities beyond the +3/+3. Value-wise, I don't know what the card is worth yet. I haven't bothered to look that one up. Decadent Dragon. So this is a cool art for it. Yeah, and it's Aaron Miller who does. I had a Kickstarter with some token sets. Yeah, so anyhow, this has got an instant adventure side. Exile the top two cards of target opponent's library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. And then it's got, as a creature, it's a 4/4 flying trample, and whenever it attacks, you get a treasure token. So that's pretty cool. Leyline of the Void. It's not foil, but it's probably just the normal version of the Tails Leyline of the Void. They're fancy looking, so they make me think that it's extended art, but it's just the basic version, I think. So if Leyline of the Void is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield, and if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So that hoses anyone playing graveyard stuff. Yeah, so that's rough. Godric Cloaked Reveler. So this is a extended art foil version of it. So this is the becomes a dragon deal. Rat and a food. Work our way through the commons. And our uncommons. There's the plains. Full art foil. Compulsion. Stab wound and foil. Red cap gutter dweller. Lich Knight's Conquest. Sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, or tokens. Return that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, so you can pick stuff that isn't doing a whole lot for you and pull quality stuff back from the graveyard. Twining Twins. And the adventure side is an instant exile target non-token creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. And then as a creature, it's got flying, vigilance, and ward 2 as a 4/4. Yeah, normally when you hear twins, you think of doubling things, but it blinks things for you. Goblin Bombardment. And, okay. This is one I hadn't seen before. Fraying Sanity. So it's an aura curse. 2 and a blue. Enchant player. At the beginning of each end step, enchanted player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards put into their graveyard from anywhere this turn. So I have no idea on the value of that. Human and a food. Okay. More comments to get out of the way. Picnic Ruiner. Neva. That's pretty. Two-headed hunter. And a swamp. Full art foil. Ground seal. Sparkling Seas in foil. Hilda's Crown of Winter in foil. Spellbook Vendor. Okay, I hadn't seen this one. A human peasant, vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1. When you do, create a sorcerer role token attached to a target creature you control. Okay. Elusive Otter. So distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. And then the creature itself has prowess, and creatures with power less than Elusive Otter's power can't block it. Doubling Season! The Goose version. Awesome. Woohoo! So I wanted another doubling season. I didn't particularly care what version it would be. So I will have to look this one up to see which one this applies to. But that is pretty great. So I got a Parallel Lives out of my other collector booster that I opened so far. So now I hit my 2 top wish list cards. And here's Hilda of the Icy Crown, which has a lot of people excited. This is the extended art foil version of it. I don't know what the value is on that one either. Elemental and a food. Okay, so this one had Primal Vigor and Doubling Season in it. So that's nice. Commons. Okay. Corvold and the Noble Thief. Okay, so we're into the uncommons. And an island, the full art foil. Knightly Valor. Intangible Virtue. A Tale for the Ages. Raging Battle Mouse. So the second spell you cast each turn costs one less to cast. It's got Celebration. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control this turn, a target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Ariette of the Charmed Apple. So this is a different version than the one I've been seeing, so I don't know what type, what style in particular they're calling that one. Another Oppression. And a Farsight Ritual, an extended art foil. And a pretty fairy token with food on the back. Okay, we're down to our last 2 packs. And 35 minutes. So that's a long time, but much shorter than my first attempt at a collector box. Because I was just engrossed in all the new cards. And paying them a bit more attention. Here, I haven't stopped for a price check. I am just cruising along. Okay, going to the uncommons. That was a Swamp. Dragon Mantle. Garrick's Uprising. Foil. Restless Vine Stalk. So another one of these. Land into creature deals. Rankle's Prank in extended art. I will not be excited to see that show up in my games. Pollen Shield Hair. So this is the showcase art of it. So we saw the standard version of it. So this is great for token decks. Aggravated Assault. So you can pay 3 and 2 red, untap all creatures you control. If it's a main phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. And Mosswood Dread Knight and Showcase Foil. A treasure, the food. And we're down to the finale. Okay. Commons are done. Succumb to the Cold. Okay. Ranger. Forest. Intangible Virtue again. Knightly Valor and foil this time. Scalding Viper. Don't know if this is the one I've seen before, so cutting off the top of my head. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, Scalding Viper does 1 damage to that player. Yeah, so I think I have seen this in a different art in one of the box breaks. They're running together now. We're a Fox Bodyguard. I think that's what we started off this with. Devouring a Sugar Maw in Showcase. Fiery Emancipation. I got a foil one of these. And one of the first, it was either the bundle, I think it was the bundle that I opened. And, ooh, okay. Sneak Attack, and this must be what a confetti foil is. I did not know what to expect. I think it's, it's a variant of what they, I don't know, did they start it with Infinity? Was that the first time they did this kind of thing? They come up with a different name for it each time. And their Halo foil, it's like depends on the shape of what's going on and what's, what the individual things look like. But yeah, so this has got to be a confetti foil. So sneak attack, red, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste. Sacrifice that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Yeah. So I'm imagining this is worth a bit. And an element, mental, and a food. Okay, so okay, we got our commons here. Just kind of do some cleanup here. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, we're at 41 minutes, but I think several of these deserve lookups. Yeah, I want to see what that one is worth. Decadent Dragon, Iron Crag. Vigor. Hardened Scales. Oversold Cemetery. Just to see. Sanguine Bond. Yeah, heck. So that's a pile of good stuff. I really have to separate it into okay, T, Chantels, the main set, Chantels, yeah, because the way that I'm looking these up depends on what set they're in. Whoa. Okay. I think that will allow me to look things up. So what I'm going to do is head over to, so I'm using TCG Player. There's a collection tracker. And yeah. Find sneak attack. Okay. Anime borderless confetti foil, I bet is what this is. Yes. Anime borderless confetti foil is $70. Um, woohoo. Um, doubling season. I'm guessing this is okay. 86 for the doubling season. Well, I don't know. That may be a high price on it. This is the anime version of it. But there's kind of like a wide swing on it. I mean, I think that the high end is probably off currently. At the low end, it's 60, but it could be as much as 86 on the mid. But still, still pretty good. Leyline of the Void is like a $4 one, so that's not as big of a deal. Nature's Will. Anime borderless. Okay, yes, it is anime, and no, it isn't premium unless it's a foil. Okay. Hardened scales. Just $1.50. Oversold. Cemetery and foil's just 80. Okay. Primal. Primal Vigor is 15. 50-ish. Sanguine Bonds only 53 cents. Oh, I think maybe it's the other one that's expensive. So there's Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood. I think maybe the Exquisite Blood is the expensive one. Okay, so then the other ones I wanted to look up were from the main set. So from the main set, okay, so the Pollen Shield here is just cute and a good card. The showcase is like 216 at the current mid. And the foil doesn't, $1.45 doesn't make a difference. Farsight Ritual, the extended art foil, looks cool, but just $1.46. Okay, so the Ariette, this is probably just the borderless version, probably. Just double checking the picture. Yeah, so this is the borderless version, non-foil, so that's like 10-ish. At least it's worth a bit. Hilda, extended art foil is 12. 22. Godric extended art foil is $2.99. Decadent Dragon and Showcase is $3.39. The Iron Crag extended art is 664. Werefox Bodyguard extended art is 257. Okay, so the big value was, of course, in these two. They don't add up to the value of the box. There's some incremental value there, like, another 20-ish here. And there's some other cards that I didn't look up that probably still do have some value. For instance, yeah, so I'm not going to belabor the point here. I am uncertain how the ultimate value of the box came out because I don't have the patience to deal with all of these, but I mean, I think I pulled out the best ones, so I think that despite the monster pulls, it may not have reached box value, but I got my doubling season. I got my doubling season, so that's cool. And I also got to see my first confetti foil, which I had not caught in previews. So, yeah. So now I know what to look for. And actually, I think Sneak Attack is a funny card. And I might think about finding a way to put it, putting that card in the deck. Sneak Attack. Okay. So thanks for bearing with me on that. This is shorter than the first one, but it went a little bit longer than I intended despite my best efforts. I'm only talking to myself, but I seem to be talkative a bit while I'm recording. I'm not talkative in real life. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed seeing this collector's box. And I have more stuff to open, and I hope you'll come around for the rest of the videos. I'll kind of announce that I have new videos on YouTube on Twitter, and you'll catch me hyping my friends that are doing various kinds of Twitch, mainly Twitch streaming, because that's kind of like what I follow live. But on, I'll retweet stuff about the ones that are like on YouTube and stuff like that. But anyhow, bye for now, and I hope to see you back again soon.